It ended.
It didn't play for me at all.
Oh wow, maybe that's
I
why
just
you.
was sitting
I
here
think I
waiting.
mute you while you were talking. You were like talking through it. I was just like,
I
what
didn't even say
happened?
anything. That's crazy. Mute is crazy.
Because you were talking during the music. It's supposed to be a countdown, not
Girl, fuck you. Guys,
52 seconds record.
for what?
52 seconds. It's a gift.
You know what? What can I say, right? That's one thing about the Dynamite Diaries, for better or for worse. Hey, man, it'll never be replicated.
You know,
I almost said welcome back to Black Girl Wrestling. Not really. Welcome back to what is this called? The Dynamite Diaries. Um, I'm so tired. So much to talk about tonight. Lyric, I, I,
I'm
I'm trying
literally,
to be normal.
I'm trying, like literally, I'm trying so hard to be normal. Um, Listen, guys. You know what? You want to know where's a really great place to start? I think let's talk about Twitter for a second. Um,
What?
Danny, you have been wiping the floor with people all week.
You think
Like,
so?
I mean, man, the Black Girl Wrestling account is up 35-0 at this point.
It's been an interesting week. I've been
would you like to comment to the people? I said, oh my God, I pray for your enemies. Because man,
but you know what blew me about it's been a lot this week. Honestly, I found myself in a lot of shit this week. And the problem is that we're now escaping, right, the target demographic. And that's what concerns me. But and so I tweeted what this is kind of what started it. I tweeted, I expressed my opinions, and then here come a whole bunch of men talking about, well, I think, well, I would do.
oh,
And
actually,
I hope everyone would read that tweet in my voice. I
yeah,
don't care. I 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 don't care at all. And for some reason, that was news to a whole bunch of people. As if I haven't said that literally every other tweet my whole life. Um, so I've been getting down. I like it though. I've said it on the show
I
before.
know. I don't, you know what? I think that's what makes it entertaining. You know, like I feel like sometimes here we've talked about it on this show several times about how any account, once you reach like I would say maybe like that 2,000-3,000 followers mark, that's when you really you deal with like a whole different level of bots and trolls and all of that, right? And for women it's tenfold, and for Black women 20-fold, right? And typically when these things start happening and when you see like these accounts start getting hate and stuff, right, I think sometimes the reaction to be like to check on the person who's getting talked about it,
Yeah,
be like,
it
oh, like,
weighs heavy on
you
it
know,
weighs
like
heavy on a lot of people. And you know what?
it's a lot. And
Um,
I've been there sometimes, but you know, also another points. But when it comes to people like Danny, help the bear.
help the
Actually,
bear.
we
You're too right in the forest with Richie Bear. Help
you
the bear.
you know
That
how
bitch gonna
some
mute it.
people actually that's how we met, because I think that was happening to me one time and you were like, you know, hey, these people are crazy, but
I
you're
was
so
like, everybody jumping you, but you're doing a great job, girl. You know.
exactly right. I
And
don't
I
ever
want to say,
I don't feel that
I
way about you. Because I just
I'm fine.
I never, you know, like I've just never had to, because I
I'm
literally
all right, everybody. Don't worry.
I pray
Mwah.
for your enemies. I said, oh my God.
I have so much fun because that's the thing, right? Like once you open that floodgate, who am I to not rush through? There was a guy, and you know what? Because this all will come back to Dynamite because this guy DM'd me and he was like, first of all, a whole bunch of grammar errors, which I won't get into. Um, oh, that's another aside. But guys, eventually we'll talk about Dynamite. But I have several things to bring up. This guy DM'd me and he was like, I've never seen a woman be such a dork. Now, a lot of ways I could have gone with this, but my general vibe with all of Black Girl Wrestling is I want to be the first girl to make you cry. I want to be the first young woman in your life that looks you dead in the fucking face as much as I can and says that you're a bitch and nobody loves you. I feel nothing when I do that. If anything, it brings me gratification. So when these things happen, I'm not exactly phased. So earlier in the week, honestly, earlier in the week, there were people who were, I tweet on Black Girl Wrestling using poor grammar and using colloquial terms for fun. For fun.
Yes.
It was a lot of yap. It was, oh, this is stupid. You're stupid. Like, none of this is decipherable. Don't start something you can't finish because you don't want to go band for band there. I am not going to dox myself, but what I will say is that in my 23 years of life, I have accomplished and continue to accomplish more than the vast majority of you random ass neckbeards ever will. I won't list those in the interest of preserving the little dignity that you have left. But don't start with me, baby. Don't start with me.
Mm.
Um, you went to prom by yourself, sitting here talking about, oh, well, I bet you weren't very smart in school. You weren't well liked. And that carried over. My intelligence from back then remains. Anyway, so yeah, guys, it's been a fun little week on Twitter. But I was gonna say, right, during Dynamite, they started showing people's tweets on the thing. That's not okay.
Y'all, I this could go really, really good or really, really bad.
It can never go good for me.
I think no, here's the thing, right? This is the problem. I think if the wrong people get platformed, they're never going to stop talking about it, and then it's going to become a competition, and then we're going to start seeing people say the craziest things to get noticed. But
Which
not
people already do.
But you know what? It's not even going to be that. It's not going to be. Well, can I say this?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Should I say this? There's going to be a lot of people
Dick riding.
Actually like AEW who are going to start talking about AEW because they are the only company who's willing to platform their voices on screen.
I am
a whole bunch of. We've already started.
And you know what? Look, I'm gonna end up with a Summer Jam screen. That's crazy. I that was crazy. This is a really big fear of mine, right? Because one, like I feel like again, we've said it a million times on the show, right? Like if you watch the show and you were like, oh gee, all of these moments were cool when a lot of this shit had me screaming, crying, throwing up, right? I don't want to see your Dynamite review. I don't want to hear what you had to say about this. You're new to this. And there's nothing wrong with being new to things, and I'm not even trying to gatekeep. What I am saying is that people who are fronting and want to be a part of something this week that won't want to be a part of it next week, like I am a lifetime customer, unfortunately. You know, if they had little membership cards, I would have one. All Elite Wrestling, you have my business.
Unfortunately.
Especially after a week like this, you have got my business. I am a happy customer. Do not put none of my damn tweets on that fucking screen. That's not funny. That's not an option. And I don't use their hashtags anyway because I think that's corny. But if for any reason y'all see either me, Black Girl Wrestling on that screen, that is AI. That is artificial intelligence. That is not me. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. If they ever put one of your Takishita tweets up there, you're cooked. I mean, you are. Yeah, you're cooked. I'm not gonna lie. The stuff, if they they'll get me with like crazy stuff, but it's stuff that like can't be memorialized. Like I think that I would like lose.
That's the thing about Lyric, right? Lyric,
No,
all of her takes, yeah, because you have takes that are just as crazy as mine. The difference is your delivery is usually a lot more neutral.
yes, yes.
That's the difference. If y'all really look at some of the shit that Lyric says versus the shit that I say, it's always, oh, Danny, that's so crazy. She's crazy too. Do y'all think we would be sitting up here doing this show if one
It's
of us was
literally the
rational and the
exact
other
same.
wasn't?
It's literally the exact same opinion. I just try to
In
say like,
lowercase.
yes, yes. I just try to say like much more diplomatically.
She's trying to be demure because this is her job.
I just feel like though. I don't know. I think we should be meaner. I've been thinking about that lately. I do think like
you ain't gotta tell me twice.
We should be meaner. Yeah, I can't dispute that. I can't dispute it. What I will say is that what would I get caught for? Who have I said something really egregious about? I don't say things super egregious, but I think I'd be embarrassed if Nick Wayne mama ever saw what I'd be tweeting about her. I think I would feel embarrassed.
And you should be.
Yep. I'm going to feel slightly embarrassed.
You can talk about brick house to this grown woman week in, week out. Come on.
But damn. I can't say that.
Yes, you can. See, now that you know that they're watching, it changes the whole thing. I don't want to be on Dynamite.
I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about like Dr. Umar coming after me. I think that's what if like
Lyric. If Dr. Umar caught wind of what we were saying about Hangman Adam Page,
do you ever think about that?
We would be in the block party. If Dr. Umar knew what we were talking about week in, week out, he would call us Neanderthal. He would call us everything but a child of God.
Everything but a child of God.
He would say, we've lost our way. My beautiful African sisters have lost their way. And here they are playing in the Snow Bunny Mountains. My beautiful African sisters have lost their way. And here they are playing in the mountain of snow. There's nothing I can do for y'all. There's nothing I can do for y'all.
Oh God, that's exactly that's word for word verbatim.
I'm like, guys, look up Dr. Umar. I think that was pretty accurate.
That was pretty accurate. That's exactly what he would say. The amount of time.
I sentence you to 20 lashes for conduct unbecoming to a black woman.
No. To an African.
To an African
woman.
Yes. Have you seen that video of him? My friend who is, well, I won't say that. My friend and I like to send Dr. Umar videos back and forth, and he sent me the one today where he was like, I want to speak to my white sisters right here first, okay? I know you find me King Kongalicious. I know that you find me sexy. I know that you find me. But I need you to know, as long as there is a single African woman on the planet, I will never choose you. You hear me? You will never be chosen. I just thought King Kongalicious was crazy.
Did you see Drewski's reality show? He did a reality show on I forgot what it was called. Drewski Love Show. But it was on YouTube. And one of the episodes, the challenge was each girl in the house had to get, it's Flavor of Love style. So each girl in the house had to get essentially grilled by Dr. Umar. And so for all of the non-Africans, the things that he was saying, oh my God, he said, yes, that sounds great. Except do you think, but I cannot endorse this relationship no matter what you come out your mouth, lady. He said, no matter what you say, I can't endorse the words coming out of your mouth. I think about sometimes, y'all, if Dr. Umar, that day, well, this is, y'all didn't see it, but that day that we all took that rice purity quiz,
oh Lord,
Dr. Umar saw those scores.
Dr. Umar, I want you to know you're welcome on Dynamite Diaries.
No, you are.
Yes,
No, you are.
yep. One time, at a 5 minute time limit. Um, uh, yep. Maybe we'll invite MJF back too.
I think that way. You know what? I think, and not to toot our horns or anything, but if we were able to pull that off, I think that would be like the highest viewed wrestling interview of the year.
I don't disagree with that.
Like, and I'm willing to put that up against anybody. Like, if we pull that off, like if we genuinely pull that off, right? I'm putting that up against anybody numbers. I don't care if you cover WWE, UFC, none of that. Dr. Umar.
If we were able to manage that, could you guys imagine? And I get to write the questions.
We'd never know peace again after that, though. But
oh no,
it might.
we would. I don't know. That digital footprint would be crazy.
But here's the thing. I think they would cancel each other out. I think, by the time they finish talking, you're going to forget I was involved.
See, I don't know. I think I wouldn't be able to help myself, and I think that I would be directly involved. I also don't think that I think that Dr. Umar is quicker than MJF. I don't think that MJF. I think he'll get. 1,000%. I don't think that.
1,000%.
I don't think he'll get there in time. Because Dr. Umar be on them lives instant.
And it's funny because we still have that clip of MJF saying, "Yeah, I know who Dr. Umar is."
He's familiar. We asked him. He's familiar.
He's gonna say, "You don't know who I am. Actually, you don't know who I am.
You don't
know who I am. Actually,
I am a pan-national.
I am a pan-African. Yeah, this is an Africans only live stream."
Somebody mute this. Do you have the thought? Somebody mute this.
Actually, so
how did we get on this?
Listen, I don't know, but if anybody is willing, if either side party wants to facilitate that,
don't do that. Please.
I mean, well,
that is a freak. No, that is a freak thing that we say on here that we do not mean. And that's the problem, Lyric. Now we've escaped our target audience to these clips that go out with us.
I knew that we've reached a crazy point when I know y'all saw that tweet. I think the guy ended up got reported and everything, but he flat out told me, he said, I said, "I'm having a terrible day. Thank God that this is a BTE Monday." Like, BTE back, by the way. Hello. But I said that I was having a terrible day. He said, "Yeah, make it even worse about rewatch SummerSlam, Blackie." I said, "Whoa."
First of all, whoa.
I said, first of all, bold of you to assume I watched it in the first place. But
also, that's a WWE diss.
That's what I'm saying. I said, are y'all using this? No, that means like, I feel like maybe I've weathered enough storms on this internet to the point to where now people can only torture me with, "Ooh, I sentenced you to 3 episodes of Raw." Ooh.
Some people live like that, right?
Oh my God. I said, I say I'm having a terrible day. This is your new torture device. You said, "Yeah, I know what's going to really ruin digging in.
Y'all live here. Talk about trying to relegate me to the hood, trying to relegate me to the slums.
You live
Ain't this your crib? Ain't this your crib?
I said, "Oh my God, that's it. Is this a torture man? Is this your new torture?"
Well, that's classic. You know what, Lyric? Speaking on Twitter, we will talk about Dynamite. You know what else, though, is another indication that, well, pause. Did you see my response?
Yes, that's why I even brought
I took it down. That's
why I'm even talking about Twitter in the first place. I felt so loved.
I'm glad.
I felt
it is just a matter of time. I'm telling everybody right now, in about a month or 2 months' time, there's going to be a thread from a male diva stan talking about my weird behavior. There's going to be a thread about a month or 2 talking about my quote-unquote weird behavior. The problem with me on the internet is that it's all probably true and things that I have done. The good thing is I'm not a bad person, so it's nothing like crazy. It's not going to be slurs. It's not going to be. It will be odd, right? It will be odd, but it won't be new information to any of you here. Okay, don't fall for the male diva stand propaganda. That is surely coming. Surely coming. I got a taste of it this weekend. I said,
I thought about it. I said, "Oh man, they gonna get Dani one of these days, and they're going to get the worst headache of their life."
I was gonna say no. The good thing is, I don't know if we as society have constructed something strong enough to take down male diva stands yet. So thus far, they typically win
We
these
were waiting
battles.
for you.
They typically win these battles.
You're the
However,
secret weapon.
we called in a ringer. All right, you have met your match. Everybody, watch your tone. And you know what? To get semi-serious for a second, if you're willing to be so misogynistic to other women in the name of defending women, you're actually not doing anything.
That's a really good segue into before we talk quickly about
FTR?
Forbidden
Oh.
Door. No, before we talk quickly about Forbidden Door, I just wanted to say y'all gonna get enough of talking greasy about Alex Windsor. I've seen some of the nastiest, ugliest, unfair things that and y'all say you're doing it for the name of women's wrestling. Shut up.
No, you're not. Alex Windsor is an incredible wrestler who was a wrestler long before she ever met that fucking guy. All right. I will not hear it in any way, shape, or form. Is she relatively new to AEW? Yes. Has she been shot up to the top because she's good at her fucking job? Yes. That is one of my elite employees. Y'all better back the hell up.
Employees.
Okay? She is. And you know what? Go ahead.
I was going to say, some of y'all faves who y'all are pushing for to either sign with the company or get pushed within the company have not produced a tenth of what Alex Windsor has produced since All in Texas. And that's a fact.
Uh-huh. And the thing with Alex Windsor is that her ceiling is so high that the vast majority of y'all faves can't even see it. They look up, they can't see it. Yeah, no. If you ever think that you're standing up for women by deciding that you're just gonna pull some misogynistic comments out of your loose asshole, you need to take a look at yourself. Take a look at what you're fixing your hands to put on the internet. All right. What she say? What? Let them know. Let them know.
She said.
You know what?
She said, talking shit on Big Windsor, but want King Coda in the dub. Like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, she's only there for Osprey, but if I tell you that, you know what? That's the thing, right? There are, this with AEW too, right? There are plenty of people that work there that should not work there. There are plenty of cuts that should be made to that roster, and have already been made to that roster. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to advocate for anybody to lose their jobs. I'm just saying if we were going to start cutting people, Alex Windsor would not be on that list, baby. What can he say? You know what? You know what else on that note? I was not bullshitting. I was not fucking lying. Swear to God, I thought Jake Hager and Big Bill were the same person. Swear to God. And people thought I was being shady because of the stuff that happened.
You thought
I had literally no idea they were different people. And people are like, no, don't do Big Bill like that. I just thought he took off the hat. They're both 7 foot tall white guys that don't speak much and were associated with Jericho at one time. I'm not a god. All right. Sometimes I lose track.
I want y'all to know that y'all are doing with Alex Windsor what you did with Kyle Fletcher, and you saw how that turned out. So good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. The amount of you who had to eat your words, I mean, eat them cold, no condiments. After the way y'all talked so greasy about the proto star, the TNT champion, the proto star, Kyle Fletcher, say his full name. The amount of you who called him
who had to take these proto strokes.
Y'all called him an Osprey clone. Y'all said what does he even do? He can't wrestle. He's not this. And then wow, look what happened. Unfortunately, Osprey is loud, but For every 3 untalented friends he has, he always has one really, really good one.
100 times. And you know what? That brings us to our next point, which did come up tonight. R.I.P. Osprey, man. You would have loved Dynamite tonight.
Truly.
I miss you and your big jackets already.
Osprey's such an it girl because he got mentioned in so many people's promos tonight.
So much. They said, we killed Osprey. Osprey, we miss you. Everybody clap it up for Osprey. I said, you know what?
They talked about you in the men's division. They talked about you in the men's division. They took TBS champion talking about you. World champion talking about you. Everybody talking about you. When you
what can you say?
That Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament wild card next year, we shall rejoice.
You know you that bitch when you pause out that conversation. Thank you.
Absolutely. I think it's time to talk about Dynamite. Oh wait,
sure.
Let's talk quickly about Forbidden Door. You all overreacted. I thought it was a great show. I actually rewatched it.
I thought you guys overreacted to most of it. Some of it was an appropriate reaction.
No, some of it was deserved.
And we'll talk about that because it came up tonight. But also, go watch my Forbidden Door review, please. God, it took 3 days to fucking load. Go watch it.
Also, what was I going to say? The main event. I just need to talk about that main event quickly. Not the Hangman MJF match. You guys have done enough.
No, the main event.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but that match genuinely felt like a Hall of Fame ceremony. It felt like an actual wrestling Hall of Fame ceremony. Like if the actual participants participate, like it felt like an all-star game. I think they said it.
Yes, it did.
I think they said it on commentary. It felt like an all-star game. It felt like a history lesson of the story of both AEW and New Japan. It was beautiful. It was violent. And it was healing. I know it made me feel like I was in these people's dynamics. I'm like, this is healing for me to see, Tanahashi and Shibata, team back together. Kota Ibushi on a New Japan show.
My whole brand has been so up.
Osprey forgiving, Ibushi. Kenny and Ibushi, teaming together. Kenny and Ibushi and the Bucks. Mox and Kenny. I said, oh my God. I said, guys.
Correct. Gabe Kidd was also there.
I'm having so much fun. I want to talk. We need to talk about Gabe Kidd quickly, too.
No, we don't. We really don't.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Because I saw the report even before he even came out tonight that, he was backstage and that he's going to be featured on AEW television a lot more. And I've been trying to say this properly, figuring out a way to properly say this. I don't think Gabe is a bad wrestler whatsoever. I genuinely don't. And I think Gabe was a part of at least 2 of my absolute favorite matches this year, which is versus Kenny Omega at Wrestle Dynasty and versus Yota Tsuji at New Beginning in Osaka. Matches that broke the Richter scale for me, they made me feel, right? And so I think at the beginning of this year, we were doing something really, really special with him. It felt like he was really, going to be a serious contender to lead. And somewhere since New Japan Cup has been convoluted, and then, he had the injury at the beginning of G1, and he's injured, but he comes back at the Forbidden Door show. Listen, I don't know what's going on. I don't think that anything that Gabe Kidd is doing in AEW is worth the type of dissension that it causes in New Japan.
It's not.
It's one thing, and I'm not trying to compare the two because they really can't be compared. But when Osprey was coming over here, he had the streets turned up so bad to where it was kind of all right.
We
were in one of those moments of just if AEW doesn't sign him, WWE will. And we can't have that.
You can't lose that.
We can't have that.
Gabe Kidd is not doing that. He's not turning out.
Even too, when Kenny and Osprey, when Osprey did the United Empire entered the trios tournament, right? And when we saw, like, Forbidden Door was one thing. With the Orange Cassidy match was already, like, I felt like a big opportunity. But when Ospreay and Kenny got in that ring together, it was like, all right, you got me.
What do you want us to say?
So much to the point to where they signed his little friends too. They did. They said
whatever it takes.
Anything it takes. We will sign your unborn.
You don't have to move out here. You don't have to move out here. We'll wait.
They said Ospreay they will sign his unborn children to keep him.
100%.
Who don't even
and it was a blank check.
And so I'm going to be honest. Gabe hasn't had any performances like that in AEW, or anything even close to it, to where it's just like, yeah, you know, it's willing to blow this all up for this opportunity at AEW. What opportunity?
And you know what? I don't want to spend a lot of time on Gabe Kidd because I really do think that Kenny changed his broke nigga life. I don't think that he warrants all of this conversation to that same point because I don't think he's done anything of note. And the Yota Tsuji match was very, very good. Do I think that it was as good as the Kenny match? No. Do I understand I have Kenny Omega bias? Absolutely. So acknowledging all of those things being true. But no, Gabe Kidd, I don't understand that because you also spent the better part of that Kenny feud and even after being like, AEW fucking sucks. I fucking hate AEW. I would never go over there. New Japan's #1. I would never do anything else. So now you're causing all of this dissension because it's like this weird relationship and this weird, you know, thing about you. But also because why did you open your mouth and say all that? Hello?
Especially, I'm talking about you stripped down, had the lion mark on your thigh, all that. Like, you know, it was real.
I am New Japan.
The Inoki stretch.
Guys,
they literally, Moxley. Weekly Pro Wrestling magazine put you on the cover doing the Inoki stretch, like with it, I am New Japan on the front. Like, you know, it was, we didn't make this, and you global heavyweight champion, you done pinned Tanahashi, you know, all of the things. I'm just confused. And also too, yeah, a lot of times people end up making the jump. Like, you know, that's not anything a secret. Like, you know, it happens, especially with international wrestlers. But brother, they at least try to wait a little bit. You know, they'll have at least like a year of doing something crazy. Within like 3 months of that, within 3 months was the first Death Riders appearance. And it's like,
with no real explanation either.
They still have to explain who you are every time you come out there. Well, it was Ospreay. Well, Will Ospreay, and I'm not even gonna say just Will Ospreay. Jay White had more motion.
All right,
he did when he was still a New Japan star coming over to AEW. People knew who he was. They did. They 100% did, and they were interested. This not so much. And
you know. Go ahead.
I was gonna say
I was gonna talk about Jay White. So you go ahead.
I think that Gabe should just be very, I don't know, very
on his way.
You didn't get a G1 to like prove yourself, right? Like, I feel like you're already behind. You hold a championship and that people forgot you have. Like, people have honestly forgotten that you have this championship, and now everybody's now looking towards the dome. I don't even know if there's anything I want to see you do. You know, like, I'm not even really sure.
I have that answer. My answer is no. And I Jay White. You know, that's another thing I got in trouble for this week. I tweeted that Jay White is not the solution to your problems.
You were right about that.
People don't like that. People didn't like to hear that.
You're correct about that.
Because people were talking about the main event, which we'll get to. We have to talk about Dynamite. Yes. I do have to leave. But people were talking about, oh my God, if Jay White was here. Not she. Girl, come back. And you're like, oh, if Jay White was here, you know, these things would be different. They would be different. Would they be better? It would be different. But that's all. While Lyric is gone living her life, I'll preview all I said talking about Dynamite. We can't hear you. Dynamite started with body blocks. That was another thing that got me in trouble this week. Damn, it's been a long week.
You said You said something. You tweeted something I saw right before we went on air, and they were like talking about Edge and Christian, and you were like, yeah, you were like, yeah, name them CNC, and it took me a minute to figure out what you were talking about, and then I said, Dani, the normies are scared. They can't know.
Hey,
You know, sometimes
that rice purity test on AO3 was, I mean, it was accurate.
sometimes I get really scared, when we do this show, because I feel like as we do more of this, which is great for like the female fan base, right? For us to have spaces. But the more like we talk about this stuff, I feel like we're letting them know like we're letting them in
secret languages.
Yeah, they're learning the secret language. I realized the reason why we get away with so much stuff is that there's a full secret under layer fangirl language that we all talk in code. And like the normies and the men don't understand it. They don't understand it. Especially the straight men, they don't get it. And so, yeah.
I thought that one was fun. I'm glad you guys liked that. I got in trouble last week because I tweeted it's an old meme. It's an old meme of like y'all cheering for FTR when they found human remains in their houses.
Yes.
Some cannibalism. And people really did not know that was a joke. That was not that really escaped the target audience. Then I had to make an apology, and in the apology I called it Baldy Glocks, and people didn't really think that was okay either. But I was like, but he
Speaking of FTR, man in FedEx shirt. Listen, I think you so big, tough, strong, and everything, but I don't think you knew who you were talking to. But you know what, though? I think that this is a really great way to segue into something that's really weighing on all of our spirits, and that is capitalism. Do you understand how hard it is to work FedEx probably is a minimum wage, but it's obviously not the best wage job in the world in today's America, and you just got off work and you got to see
fucking FTR.
And like as soon as you came in
you work all week. We get paid.
Work. So you probably just got there in time for like the show to kick off. Like no dark.
You didn't even get to change.
And
here come fucking FTR. Come on, man. Your hard-earned money, because you're right there in the front, dead center. And who do they send out? First thing.
Oh my God.
Here come Baldy Glocks
too, but crash out with the other ones. I don't think like Cash Wheeler, we don't play with him.
Nah. He probably still on parole. You all right?
We don't play with that. I'm gonna be honest. Parole. Never mind.
Moving on. I think he was found out. I think he was dismissed of all charges. So everything here we say is satirical and alleged. Alleged. No, they did not find human remains in their shared home. They did not share a home. There were no signs of cannibalism. Because there was it was just a joke. Because I found out you can get a cease and desist over tweets. I haven't got one yet, but you can.
So much of the stuff that people get mad about, the whole time it's us being Gen Z. They have no idea it's a meme and it's just like.
It's not. I thought you're 40. What am I supposed to do? I'm speaking my language. Anyway, FTR came out here. Yap. Talk. They started talking about everybody's kids. Don't care. Here comes Adam Copeland. He's looking around. Where's Christian Cage? Here comes Christian Cage. Adam Copeland. Yap. Christian Cage says, I understand, Dex, that you have a father. And Cash, you as well. And they're like, no, don't say it. And Adam Copeland's like, oh my God, don't say it. And guess what? Christian Cage said it. Christian Cage, I want you to know when we
no, you need to change, etc. He said, I'm not that saved. You're dead. Yeah. And he's dead.
Bitch. Oh.
You know what I will say? And maybe this is why. Oh, can I say this? This is all speculation, right? When we heard the rumors, right, about like Cope and Christian, about like their
Exploiting each
reunion
other's bodies.
being no.
Oh, sorry, guys. What do you mean?
I meant like of them like delaying the reunion, and just because of single stuff and all the stuff that happened between when they were both in the world title program, and that's how Christian losing his cash in over that, etc. Like we heard of all that. But I think it's been interesting, kind of now if you notice, now that they are working together again, I'm sure that they're really happy to do it. Obviously, they're longtime friends, but like they are kind of having a diva off now of
They
just
are having a diva.
like Christian is like having to really reassert himself that yeah, they like you, but
He's top girl. They
this
love
is
me.
shit. This
They
is
like
my
me, but
shit.
they love me.
You know, I'm Christian Cage. Like I was running this like long before you got here, and it's cool. I'm glad you're here, but this is still. And so they've been having this subtle diva off, and I find it, and I'm gonna
And
be honest,
that's
it works for me.
it's entertaining. It's also important that Adam Copeland knows that you can't outdo the doer. Okay, you are not going to out diva Christian Cage.
I think we're now honestly in a position to where we can have some real. They put themselves in a position to where, you know, obviously people wrestlers are always going to get compared, but they've also put themselves in a position now that they're both at the end, towards the end of their careers, to where you could you could stack them up right against each other and look at their bodies of work, and I feel like make a definitive conclusion. This AEW run is going to definitively prove who is better of the two. I think I do think that Edge always got the edge because he was pushed in WWE, but AEW is more about the skills. And I think that Christian Cage is going to come from behind. And I say
You
this
know
as
what? Maybe that will be one of our debate topics because I think I disagree with you there.
really
Yeah, but maybe just because I was an Edge girl. Well,
well.
let me not
No, here's
phrase it
the
like
thing.
that.
Edge is my childhood favorite wrestler. I think that's why it's so interesting to me. And
I understand where you're coming from. I think I could construct an argument in his defense.
I feel like I could do for one for both of them. Because here's the
Me
thing,
too.
I don't think it's a conclusive thing yet. That's why I said I think that their AEW run is really going to determine, you know. So I think like it's going to be really fun, interesting to see like how this all really pans out. But I'm enjoying the devolve.
Yeah,
Um,
somebody said Adam Copeland will learn that he is the plus one, not Christian. Exactly.
you know, so
Wipe your shoes when you come in this house.
next we had Mox versus Daniel Garcia.
A good match. It was enjoyable.
Let's talk.
DG, I want to talk to you, okay? Because y'all know me. I love me some Dani Garcia, okay? We went to the show here, had to need that sign just for you. DG, I'm coming from a place of love, okay? We have got see because you know what the problem is. The real problem is because people were saying, "Oh, like he's not necessarily getting the reactions that he used to get." And even throughout the course of the match, I think he was able to get people back. People by the end of that match were rooting for Daniel Garcia, were interested in Daniel Garcia. The problem is with you, you never learn. The problem is we always tease character development, or we always tease that you've been wronged in some capacity, and that maybe you're going to do something about it, and that maybe you're actually going to turn heel, and you've never in your life learn the lesson that gets taught to you week in, week out. I have, we've said it on this show before, but I think that a night like tonight really cemented it, right? Like your peers and your age mates who weren't here when you were here have come in and snatched the chain a little bit. And I,
A
again,
lot of it.
as a Daniel Garcia lover, enjoyer, appreciator, right? I do think that you have that potential. But at this point, I said it earlier, at this point, we are playing legacy games, dude. We are playing legacy games. Because if we don't find some sort of direction for you, some meaningful character development, something for you to actually sink your teeth into with somebody your own fucking age, that's a problem. You've been aligned with people double your age. You've been low broed your whole career in AEW. You've been, oh, you're good, but you're not great. You're not grown yet. You're a grown man. You're a grown man. And you got other peers with age mates running around being grown men. And you always seem like you always need to be saved. You always see something else. I'm saying this from a place of love. Grow up. Get a grip. Lyric?
Um, I I I don't I think a lot of times like I don't want critiques to come off as if like I'm saying like I'm giving up on Daniel Garcia because I think like he still has a ton of potential. But I do believe that staying in AEW means accepting what AEW is in the sense of like, for example, if he had left and went to WWE, right? You automatically know you're going into that NXT system. So you have that buffer room before like it's on your shoulders to like sell a pay-per-view
We
or
know you.
exactly, right? Like before it's like a you gotta there's no way that you're gonna be main event in SummerSlam this time next year, right? Just because straight off your age, it doesn't matter even if you were
Yeah.
fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Just because age alone, the way that they operate. But staying in AEW realizes that in some ways it's a blessing and in some ways it's a curse because as a young talent, the ceiling is much higher, right? If you do well, if you excel, they will give you the ball. You will be in the positions to where you are a top of the promotion guy. You will be on the branding. You will be in the big matches. You will be in title pictures. And so like doesn't at the age of 27 years old, right? Like MJF was what 26 main eventing Wembley. Look at Kyle Fletcher right now, 25. Young guys essentially run the promotion. And so when you don't reach those high levels, you literally are going to fall down. And it's not going to be forever, but you can't be a priority. They'll give you they'll give you essentially you have the opportunity to make of it what you do. I guess at this point, and I just don't know. Don't get me
And
wrong.
even no,
I
I was just gonna say, and even guys like Kevin Knight, he just got here. He just got here, and he has been a staple on TV week in and week out. And you know what really blows me about DG? What really, really like I was already feeling this way, but like when they had him come out a few weeks back, quite a
he
few
said
weeks
that
back on
everybody
Collision
beats
and
me.
say, "I am a loser. Everybody beats me," and then fucking lost. It's just it.
I'm not gonna
He
lie.
has not won anything of note in so long, and it's not even just about winning. It's just how are we supposed to believe you can win when you straight up tell us you're a loser?
I think it shows me like clearly like they're invested in like I think AEW is gonna give it one last big try. Like, it feels like that's where we're heading, which I feel like he deserves. And maybe Mox is the way to do it. And
I don't think so.
here's the thing. With the way that Mox is operating right now since All In, I am willing to hear them out as it relates to like this next phase of the Death Riders. I don't think they haven't missed one bit. Even like when it comes to the Kris Statlander stuff, I'm not saying that I want her to join, but with the slow pace that they've been moving on everything else, at least I know for a fact that anybody that gets involved in the Death Riders, they're gonna be on TV every single show. They're going to
For
be
better or worse.
yes, like they're going to be constantly wrestling. They're going to be forced into, major spots. Like, I'm not going to lie. It's not a bad spot to be. Like, it's just genuinely not.
It's
Because
it's
think
not a
about it.
bad spot to be. I have said time and time again though, the Death Riders need to die. They need to die. Darby Allin needs to kill this man off TV.
I'm
Um,
going to kill
and
Mox on TV.
I do.
I've
and
had
not in a bad way. I firmly believe, right? Like Mox was doing really great work leading into All In, and he has been doing great work since All In. What the issue is, I'm like, guys, don't forget the purgatory we were in before that, right? This has been a long time coming to get to this point. I am ready to do something else. I do not think that I think Moxley is interesting. I do not think the Death Riders are interesting
that's
at
fair.
all. And so
I
I think that we need to figure out how to do something else with him, and we're not going to be able to do that without a clear explanation of the Death Riders no longer being a thing. I don't need I don't think that revamping the group and trying to do the same thing with DG or trying to do the same thing with Stat, I do not think that it will help the issue of the fact that I think the stable has outstayed its welcome.
that's fair. I think for me, my biggest problem was Mox having the world title. Now that that is gone, I will say I don't really care as much. Like I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I don't think I feel as strongly about the faction ending as I did
It's
about
not as egregious because we freed the belt. Yeah,
yes.
agreed. Agreed.
That's, yeah. So like that's kind of like where my head has been on it of just I don't see that as like a immediate pressing issue, but I get what you're saying.
I understand that.
I would just my thing is it's kind of like I'd rather see him doing something like like
Yeah,
I'd rather
I
see
understand that.
just because I know for a fact that with Mox you're gonna be active and you're gonna be doing something
Yes.
and it's going to like I think honestly with the Death Riders they're so menacing right now. Like they are actually like killing niggas now. And like for example, we'll get to Claudio. Like, bro, like Claudio's straight up an executioner now. But they are actually scary enough now to where I feel like, oh, if DG gets in line with them, he would be forced to get an edge about himself. Like he'd be forced
Or
on something.
or he'll be another Yuta that just gets bitched week in, week out. That's the risk you take.
I don't. Here's the thing. I think Daniel. Never mind. Never mind. I respectfully, I just disagree. I'll just leave that there.
Okay. What was next? I don't remember.
Uh, what happened after that? Oh,
Was it the women?
while I'm looking it up, do you think Chris Jericho's come back? Like, I know what you want. I'm asking you what you think. Dani, come on. Oh, Hook came back. Yeah, because Yuta was in the middle of her reign. You didn't answer my question.
Why did Hook come back right after really you just set up there? He said, I killed Osprey. We killed it. I killed Danielson. These motherfuckers cut the lights and hit Hook's music. I ought to jump through the screen and strangle
I
each
will
and
say,
every single one of
I
you.
don't think that if the goal was to make me feel something, they succeeded. What I felt
Rage.
was not even rage. I hooted and hollered. Like I laughed. I couldn't stop laughing. Because like the way that they built it, I said, I know like a real killer finna come through. Like I already know
If
that.
the last name you say is Brian Danielson, then you hit the lights. What's a girl to expect? And they trying so hard to make Hook, this big deal to make us care about that. This made me hate you. I don't feel any type of way about that boy, positive or negative.
You ever seen that meme of that guy holding the dog by the leash and they said he trying his best to make this motherfucker look vicious?
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Listen, I think also
Yeah.
to do it, and I'm sure maybe the reason why they did this because obviously Taz, his dad is connected to ECW, they're in ECW arena. But this is not the vibe. Y'all, Hook is on like Bravo reality shows. at this point.
Yeah, I
Like,
know. I watched
which
it.
is oh my god, I just saw the first episode of Next Gen NYC. It's actually really juicy. I
It's
think I'm gonna
pretty
finish.
fun.
I'm gonna finish watching it.
It has a lot of racist undertones that I struggle to get through, but
I heard that. I only really knew Ariana and Riley coming into it because they were on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
yeah.
They're Kim and
Yeah.
Candy's kids.
Um, Guys, I also want to say if anyone watched the Love Island reunion, Um, please, I will keep this short, but if you watch the Love Island reunion, please let me know what you think about Ace going on that podcast and talking about Nick and Alandria, and let me know what you think about Huda, because I think that she's insane and it's truly, truly scary. And Ace is that short so he can be closer to hell so the devil can whisper in his ear.
Well, if I get a pop culture break too.
No, do not talk about that damn show with that.
Anyway, the summer I turned pretty. If you watched the wedding episode this week, oh my god! Please send me your thoughts, guys. We spoken on that Jeremiah Fisher pet tonight. Puff puff pass. Wow, that was
sorry. Go ahead.
crazy. That was absolutely crazy. So if you watch the summer I turned pretty, please let me know. Why y'all booing me in the comments? You saw how, and this is how I know that everybody lacks. No. This is how I know.
I never liked Ace either.
This is how I know that everybody lacks class, because when you went on your Love Island break, I didn't say anything. I let you have your moment. I let you calmly talk about what you wanted to talk about. Everybody in the chat followed you up. I didn't say anything rude or anything bad about it. I talked about my feelings, my thoughts, my opinions, and my interests for literally 30 seconds. And everybody's like, boo, here, let it go. I don't want to hear
in my defense, you have really bad taste.
I think you have bad taste. Now what?
You're watching scripted TV about reality teenagers. That's odd.
YA. Yeah, YA. Anybody read
That's
YA
odd.
books? Oh my gosh.
For kids.
We are they are literally adults. And also this summer, this season of the Summer I Turned Pretty, everybody's adults.
The bitch name is Belly. I'm not.
Everybody's adults. What are you talking about? They're not kids.
I'm not watching that damn show.
I didn't ask you to. What I'm saying is that when you talked about your show that I didn't care about, I let you have your moment. You decided
when
to.
When have I ever claimed to be a classy person? When have I ever
rained on
those
my
claims?
Parade?
Guys, how do we feel about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce being engaged? I'll go first. I don't care.
I muted them within 10 minutes so that the engagement went up. I went ahead.
I already have. First of all, worst Instagram caption ever. And I'm not even a hater. I'm like, we've talked about it before on the show. I'm not even a hater. That is the worst way to announce your engagement, maybe in the history of ever. You are so famous, and he is so famous, and y'all are so famous together that I know you went through 30 million iterations of whatever that caption was going to be, and you landed on that. That is egregious. That is something that you simply cannot be forgiven for. Some of the shitty music, I was able to look past. Okay, the questionable outfits at times, I was able to look past. The copious amount of Grammys that should belong to Beyonce, I was able to look past. That Instagram caption, that will be your undoing.
I would like to say that I hate to be messy here, but doing that during Sabrina Carpenter's release week is nasty. Very, very, very nasty.
Well, she got fake daughters because she was supposed to be with Olivia and she dropped hers quick.
Sabrina, unfortunately, has gotten too popular.
I think so too.
Nobody expected her to really pop off as quickly as she did. But let me tell you something about Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Carpenter has been on the Broadway, honey. That is an actual singer. She's a real performer, a real comedian. She does it all. And what she's going to do, she's going to have a very long career. What she's going to do, she's going to get these studios to start doing remakes of Marilyn Monroe films. And after that, y'all are
just to cast her in it.
You're really cooked.
I like that girl. I like that white girl.
Like, I will say,
I rock with that blondie.
I do really rock with Sabrina Carpenter, and I typically don't like getting in stand drama. But yes, I did notice releasing your engagement on it's nasty. Right? Oh, and Sabrina's release week is nasty.
You
It's
guys were
nasty.
talking about gaylers. Was anybody in here a Larry? Be honest. Anyway, what happens on
You just
Dynamite?
dox yourself? Oh my
What?
god! Just dox yourself. You just kind of like
Me?
you fan doxed yourself.
That's fine.
You know,
No, I'm not saying that I was. I was just asking. I'm just asking.
sure.
Anyway,
Anyway,
what happened next on Dynamite? Was it the women's tag?
I had something to
Oh
say.
shoot, I gotta go in a little bit. But
Oh right, yeah. Let's go ahead and like we have to go ahead and like get
we'll
through
talk
the
about the most important things.
yeah
Because
women.
I can do a few extra minutes, but
Okay, women good. Kris Statlander, you're incredible. I honestly, because Athena lost, I do think that Kris
it has
Statlander.
to be you.
Yeah, it has to be you. And
And I had an idea, guys, that I don't think is actually bad. I tweeted it, but right, like Mercedes, she got her 9 belts. Her next, it's clear that her next, thing is going to be with Alex Windsor. Alex Windsor should not beat her. I don't think she will.
yeah,
But but we love Alex Windsor, but she's not going to beat her.
yeah.
I think that we should do blood and guts, and Mercedes should be so cocky, and she said, I'm going to give a title shot to one member of the winning blood and guts team, right? And then the baby faces win. Stat is on the team of the baby faces, and she gets the pin, and she proclaims herself as the person that is going to challenge Mercedes because she's like, oh, I got the pin, I'm justified, whatever. And then Willow's like, we never talked about this. We never, we didn't vote on this. You proclaimed yourself the winner. So, and then you further show the division. Stat heel turn, Stat world champion. Willow wins it back off her. Right? Right? Everybody hear me out and grab a pen.
Bro, Jayla said Kris Statlander, my credit score is 750 and I'm a homeowner. Listen, Kris Statlander, if going back to what we said at the beginning of this statement, if Dr. Umar, wow, man, I said Harley Cameron is living my dream. Oh my God, what a woman. And also, too, we've talked about this also in the show about how while Stat is really liked, sometimes like because other women have been developed more, she hasn't been like, she doesn't get like the crowd reaction. She had it today, which is a really, really great sign that, the push is happening. It's coming. And so that's been really exciting. AEW, this women's division moving at a snail's pace is not fun, but unfortunately,
No.
that I keep falling for your antics. When Willow came out, and also she was really shy about it. She wanted to pretend she wasn't there. I said, "Oh God, I fell for it again. I fell for it again."
Week in, week out, and I need this to move along, and I need this to be for a title because I can't keep living like this. I mean, I will if I have to, but I can't keep living like this with Willow and Stat. Please, that Larry hit Danny like the Winter Soldier is crazy. That was another one for me. That was another one.
I need you all to know that Mercedes Moné is the greatest to ever do this. What she did in Britain this past week, wrestling 4 times in a week, that look, what she wore to Forbidden Door, I said, people are going to recreate this and they're going to pretend this was their idea. People are going to pretend they all hate this now. Somebody's going to do this. I have an idea of who. They don't work here. I have an
Is it
idea.
Zelina Vega?
Yeah. So
I was just wondering.
but yeah, Mercedes, I've never played about you. You are like one wrestler who I am just as much of a fan of now as I was 10 years ago. And I can't say that about too many people. I've had several of mine disappoint me really bad. But
the majority.
Yeah, wow. The things that you've done when you had, see, it's the visual. You got so many belts now, you can't even hold them. You got so many. You said Ultimo Dragon on screen. Oh my
And you know what?
God.
And you know what? I want to come to her defense because she did not tap out. I literally saw the bug. I saw it with my own two eyes, and I said, "Get away from Mercedes! Shoo it away! Shoo it away! 1, 2, 3." You know. So we will not be tolerating any revisionist history. Okay,
The
trust
things
your
that
eyeballs, people.
the thing she was doing, y'all, Mercedes has such a high budget. Like the way that we talked about like Kenny's historic entrances, like we don't have like a lot of historic entrances for women. Like I don't think like with belts and titles and pomps and circumstances, like this is going down in the history books, brother. Like the stuff that she's doing, having them catalog
And
on the table.
and her comments after Forbidden Door, in the media
Oh
scrum,
my God,
she
I
was
was gonna
just
say,
really
yeah.
talking about how much she loves wrestling and how much all of this really means to her. And without getting too deep and too dramatic, because I could talk about this all day, and I'm sure Lyric could too, right? Like, there have been so few women who have gotten this level of treatment in wrestling, and there have been no black women who have gotten this level of treatment and this level of acknowledgement.
Yeah.
And the visual, so that just to me makes the visual 10 times stronger because, like, man, genuinely, we used to pray for times like this.
I
We
think
have been in,
especially for her. Like Mercedes,
yes,
they had my goat losing the bombs. They had her talking to scrubs. Like we're really up. And also too, bro. She told Alex Winter, "Yeah, I got your man doing the money dance." Oh my God! Oh
you know
my
what? And you know what? That's true.
God!
We see the video.
We saw the
I
video. We got to
streets are
go.
saying that's how Osprey
Will
herniated them discs.
Ospreay was doing interviews about the money that he said it's so fun, bro. I just think it's such a great dance, bro. He had show up. Woman not doing that shit. Mercedes had
Hey, Mercedes told your nigga dance for me and he did.
Mercedes had the locker room so geek to where she was throwing parties after every title defense. They was all pulling up. She was out there, had everybody wanted to take pictures with her, dance videos, making TikToks and stuff. Oh my gosh. Oh my
Can't say enough about you, Goat.
Mercedes.
Cannot say enough about you.
Yeah, I don't expect you to lose it all out or anything. I know that you'll probably lose at Wrestle Dream, the TBS title. Um, and I think that Tony and Mercedes are going to main event probably Full Gear, which they
They
should.
should.
Yeah, man. Just shout out to you. Just shout out to you, Mercedes. So that I got your man doing the money dance. I said she's right. Oh,
And she
but
did. And
they
she
said
did
yeah.
have that.
She said get well soon, Will. But I said, oh my gosh, Osprey is
Uh,
really loved. Like the amount of people who said yeah, like even if I'm trying to be shady right now, I really do hope you feel better. You're such a nice man. Oh, that was so nice. Anyway, moving
and
on.
we wanna extend those same sentiments.
Yes.
Rest up Billy Goat, and come on Black Wrestling.
Do we have to
I
start
heard
doing?
laughter is the best medicine.
Do we have to
So
start doing the Osprey section of the
yeah,
show?
maybe we'll just direct it towards heaven.
Yeah.
Osprey, we're thinking about you. And then a
Um.
little.
What else happened after that?
Guys, I don't know what was next, but I
Let's just
was ready to talk about.
let's talk about.
Yeah.
Oh well, quickly we got to talk about Okada and Takeshita. Man,
um, I feel like I did a line of cocaine.
I haven't
First
felt
of
like
all,
that
first
in
of
a
all,
minute.
first of all, match was incredible. So I don't want that to be lost. Match was incredible. Jet speed. Brodito. Mwah.
Congratulations, by the way, Brodito.
Congratulations. I always knew you could do it. I actually had zero faith that you would win the titles, but I
Zero.
wanted you
I
to.
mean, zero.
Zero. Less than none.
Zero.
But hey, I love to be pleasantly surprised. Again, like I said, AEW, you have
Just like
earned
Bayne
my
won
week.
Double or Nothing.
Uh, exactly. Um, Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada can unlock something in me that I just did not know. It was so, you know what? We have not had, well, this, maybe that's not true. This has such a big feeling to
They
it
flipped the switch
that
for me.
it really flipped the switch for
It
me. This felt huge.
it felt
And we
like Big
knew
Back New Japan. It felt like
we
that.
exactly. And so I was like, look, Okada has had big matches in AEW. Okada has the Kenny is different, you know. Kenny is different. This is new. This is and I feel like the Kazuchika Okada that y'all go see in this fucking match, in this fucking rivalry, will remind every single one of you hoes why we are not speaking in a hyperbolic way when we're talking about Kazuchika Okada. Just because you're not seeing it week in, week out, don't mean he don't got it like that. This little interaction with Takeshita today, I said, oh, y'all not ready. These motherfuckers
Y'all,
not ready.
the way that it's like, and even the thing is, I haven't seen Okada even, how do I say, look at anybody like that since probably
Yes,
Kaito Kiyomiya. Like, I'm about to humble you. Like,
it's
I'm
been a
about to humble you.
long time.
Like, it's been years, like even long before you
And
came.
you know what? And you know what's so interesting? And I just want to give myself credit because I said this maybe a year ago. I was like, I would do the same thing. I would have, but yeah, Takeshita win the G1. Takeshita feeling himself. Takeshita is going to beat Zack Sabre Jr. But the timeline don't even matter. Takeshita feeling himself as as the man of New Japan. Kazuchika Okada, he's like, yeah, I love humbling people, but Takeshita has
You
all
can't
of
be
the reasons in the world to not be fucking humble. Why would he be humble? He not your young boy. He not none of that shit. He's not going to be done the way that she was doing niggas under 30 in New Japan before you left. That will not be this match with Konosuke Takeshita. And I am so glad that Takeshita has that extra air of confidence because it's going to bring just an added layer of intensity to the match. This, oh my God,
like the thing
I,
is,
I,
it started. What I loved about it is like it started before the bell rang. Like even like, and I love how they did it because I know that's one thing about I give Don Callis credit for because he comes from that like age of New Japan storytelling in the sense of you're shown not told anything many things. So like when he's announcing the faction, right? They're coming out in line. The stars come last, and even too seeing like Takeshita and Okada, they're standing in line with each other. Okada's looking forward.
but they
He refuses.
posturing,
He refuses to ever make eye contact. Right?
and
Takeshita,
Okada goes straight to the front.
exactly. Takeshita looks like over occasionally, but he tries to act unbothered. And like Don is
And
trying to like keep him like let Okada move forward, but also trying to appease him. Even too when they got in the ring, and so they're Don Callis is in the middle. They're on the separate turnbuckles, and like they're like mirrors of each other. Like the center, like the way that it was shot was crazy.
and honestly, going into tonight and going into when they announced Okada was going to be in the Don Callis family, you were like, oh, this gonna be some problems because you got two people who are not wanting to be backups in any capacity, not wanting to be the B guy ever. Kazuchika Okada hasn't been a B guy in fucking 15 years.
No,
And Takeshita feeling himself in a way that he absolutely should be. This is going to be. It has the potential to be one of AEW's best rivalries.
bro. Even at Forbidden
I
Door,
felt like I did a line of coke during
even
that stare down.
even at Forbidden Door, Takeshi didn't even wrestle. After like that Okada match, Okada takes out Swerve, right? And the entire Don Callis family coming out, right? When Takeshi's music hit, and he slow walked the aisle. The people were going nuts. He ain't dapped none of y'all niggas up. He went and stood by Kyle. He nodded at him. But everybody else, I said, oh yeah, he's not feeling it, bro. He's not feeling it.
Not feeling you no more.
I said, this is, we got the missing piece. We got the missing piece now. That G1 done added such an extra layer of confidence. I would like to say that all the disciples, all except for Will Ospreay, he's a little fucked up right now, but he gonna get back right. But the disciples of Kenny Omega are better than they've ever been, and I think that that's a wonderful segue into, you know, what you came here for, what I came here for. We're obligated to do this show at this point, right? But I want you to know that the second that those things happen, it was no longer no longer must see. It was can't miss. Guys.
Baby! I want to say, wait. No, I was going to say, we were supposed to do, it's supposed to be Under the Sea themed. Does anyone have any fun water-related traumas? Drop them in the chat so that, or fun facts. Because we need to talk about this more than we need to talk about probably anything else on Earth at the moment. I also want to say, 5 minutes into the fucking night, I was like, wow, this crowd is incredible. I wish Kenny Omega was here. Which, honestly, people are giving me credit for summoning. Everybody here knows I tweet that every week.
Every week?
I want Kenny Omega there every time. And, you know, I actually think there was a lot of discourse tonight about, like, today, about Kenny and Hangman interacting and, you know, how it hadn't happened in about 2 years in the ring. I also have been a strong proponent. I said, no, we gonna get that. We gonna get that pay-per-view match. We gonna get that. So tonight was incredible for my brand in a number of ways, but oh my God, Hang Mega. Oh my fucking God. I made noises that I haven't made in forever. And you know what it was, right? Like, I was so sure that Kenny wasn't here. I was so sure Kenny wasn't here. And then when Hangman was getting beat up and Jesse come out and make the save, I'm like, I was so sure that it would be literally anybody else. And I said out loud, I said, this would be a great moment for Kenny. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Do you see this? I just wanted to say that I own this. If anybody was paying attention, this is a tag team collection package of Kenny Omega. Hangman Page and Kenny Omega as World Tag Team Champions. You can get yours, guys.
You really can't. Not no more.
Well, yeah, you can't. Snooze, you lose, fuck nigga. You know, there go your childhood. But I couldn't even really react in the moment. I think I was literally I felt like I got electrocuted like for the rest of the show because I said, oh my God.
I genuinely was like jolted. And I
want you to know the week that I had, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy because I actually would. I've had a terrible.
Everybody name drop one enemy you have.
The American government.
Yeah. Well, yes. Mine. I went to school with a girl named Olivia. She was literally so mean. She pushed me pushed me off the swing, and then I went and I told everybody that she pushed me off the swing. But my parents had always said, you know, someone put your hands on you, swing back. So I said, yeah, she pushed me off the swing, which she did, and then I punched her in the face, and we both got in trouble. But anyway, I didn't forget. That was 3rd grade. I didn't forget.
We know. But I was saying, guys, I had like an awful week, and then I was like, you know, Dynamite. I said Wednesday's going to cheer me up. I have my show coming on. Don't say anything. And then I have Dynamite tonight. And I said, you know what? It's going to really cheer me up, you know, after Forbidden Door. And I was okay with crumbs. But God said, look again, daughter. God said, look again, daughter. And when I looked up and I heard that battle cry, and when I saw my favorite himbo run out of there drenched with no shirt and a pair of jeans that were too tight, he could barely hit the V trigger, I said, oh, my brother, we're back.
Why am I crying?
Between Hangman and when Hangman took his jacket off and revealed that short sleeve shirt, I said, y'all are so country. Y'all are country.
And you know what? Let me say this. Hey, man, don't be doing that shit. Don't undo your top button and then start talking. What do you expect me to focus on? What the hell? Be serious. Give me a chance at least.
Y'all, and then y'all doing all this. BTE came back this week. Hold on. No, okay, yes, we do need Kenny. I'm gonna hold your hands when I say this. I love you. I'm so glad you're back. You do have to grow your facial hair back. But
it was a little unsettling. But you know what? Go. I support your rights and your wrongs.
I'm so happy to see you, but we do need to do a little, but I have
Kenny Omega. Kenny fucking Mega.
Kenny Omega. And Dan, you gonna get blocked today. I'm gonna be honest. You gonna get blocked. I mean, truly. Like that. You might want to stop.
I don't know if you guys know this about us. We're pretty big fans of the Elite, I would say. Kenny and Hangman
talking about
Kenny and oh yeah, I'm not a normal person. I really need to unpack that because when Kenny Omega, our words, I genuinely I can't even say the words because I genuinely will probably have to be institutionalized.
Take me out back and put me down like a dog.
The horses. I'm a bad racehorse.
Y'all gonna have to put me down.
Which also reminds me of this past weekend when at the what was the fucking show called? At Forbidden Door, when we did that fuck ass finish, which we don't have too much time to talk about because I do have to go. But that when they did that fuck ass finish, I literally tweeted, well, I mean, yeah, this is the kind of thing that you kill yourself over. And then they undid it, and I was like, well, glad I didn't overreact.
I think it was one of those things too. It just, man, AEW, if you went through with that, you was going to inherit the nastiest mental health bill. And I hope it was worth it.
Had they gone through with that, yeah. You want to talk about, they want to show people's tweets on TV. Show that. You could just share my screen, okay? With the things I have to say about you. Luckily, we got a fuck ass finish that made no damn sense with that stupid fucking contract that we're making up rules for.
I think that's how I felt too. Of just it made me realize that listen, Hangman being world champion, I'll really forgive everything, but he really does have to be world champion.
Hangman, and he's not dropping that belt until I tell him he's dropping that fucking belt.
He's not. And I think also I was really more upset about that finish because I genuinely believe that match was trending.
It was really good.
Like they were doing things, they were mirroring each other. Hangman was wilding on that turnbuckle. My God, I saw the bookmarks.
Let's give that a second. Let's talk about that. Let's hold space for that. MJF, you're so fucking greedy. You're so greedy. What you gonna do with all that?
Also, you just got like me having the matches enough. You want to win too? Boo! Greedy.
Girl, fuck you. Girl, fuck you. Greedy. Yeah, I think I watched those moments, and I literally, as it was happening, I was like, "Let me relax. Let me be normal. Let me chill. And then I go on a timeline, and I'm like, "Well, if you guys aren't gonna be chill about it, how the fuck am I supposed to be chill about it?"
Y'all, Kenny Omega's back.
Kenny Omega's back. He's teaming with Hangman.
Kenny Omega's back. BTE is back. Hangman Page is world champion. I'm be honest, I don't really need too much.
I'm an elite girl, baby.
That brings me back. Mox is doing good work again. That just reminds me of I loved some of the people who did spots at Forbidden Door. All y'all can't come over here. I think you should stay home for New Japan War Dogs. Y'all can't come.
Oh no, every single War Dog.
Like y'all can't come.
You got a video of Kamala? Do not come. Do not come.
Y'all can't come, bro. Like unfortunately, you can't come.
Robbie X.
We done putting everybody just Kenny was doing. Kenny still feels really bad, I think, about sometimes some of the stuff that happens at New Japan. He makes it his mission to put some of these guys over, right?
But you know what? I understand that. But you realize how much emotion you have to be like, wow, there's 30 of them and they can't fill my shoes.
But here's also the thing. Do you know how the type of emotion you don't have when you get the Kenny Omega stimulus package and you can't hold on to that momentum for even 6 months, the first 6 months?
PPE loan, come on.
I hate to compare anybody to Will Ospreay because he's genuinely one of the greatest of all time and he really can't be compared to like most of the people in his age group. But like y'all, Ospreay got the Kenny Omega stimulus package, which wasn't ability, by the way. It was really more so attention, like the attention that comes with a big time Kenny Omega match, especially a Tokyo Dome match. The spotlight. He still hasn't stopped since.
No, he took it and he ran with it. And again, like you said,
Ospreay
is he an anomaly?
Mouth in the media too and stuff. He's still smart mouth, but like he has matured a ton. He said, "Oh yeah, let me lock in.
Let me lock in. Let this be my lifeblood. Hold on. I don't know what to tell you, hoes. Kenny Omega is the greatest to ever do it. I will not hear. And you know what? Welcome everybody to the Kenny Omega glazing session. It takes place every week, whether he's here or not, because guess what? I'm here. And as long as I'm here, Kenny Omega will have an appreciator. But opening up the universe again, because Kenny and Hangman are teaming next week with Jet Speed against the Young Bucks and someone else. I forgot who else is there because that's all I needed.
I forgot
guys.
Now we are back on levels. I thought about this during the steel cage match, and I promise this will be the last thing, except for Darby. You're nuts for taking them spots from Claudio the way you did. But
literally insane. Came out of fucking nowhere at the beginning. He scared me.
But I was thinking it during the cage match. This match is filled with people who all make me feel something most of them make me feel something very specific in wrestling. And like, these are several people that I've looked at and I said, no other wrestler in the world is ever going to make me feel the way you feel. I said, Kenny Omega. I'm never going to love another wrestler the way I love you. That's so crazy. And
I'll take it a step further. I don't think I'm ever going to love another man the way I love Kenny Omega.
I agree. I didn't want to be all parasocial with it, but you said it first.
I am willing to be parasocial with it. I don't think that I've had boyfriends. I think I've borderline been in love before. Does that compare to what I feel when Kenny Omega's battle cry hits my fucking screen? Nope.
It feels like everything in the world is right. It feels like everything, even if it's not right, it's going to be okay.
It's okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna make it anyway.
Too, like that special sauce of another person who makes me feel like that is Tanahashi. So like Kenny, Tanahashi, Ibushi. Seeing Ibushi be the voice of reason. God. Ibushi being the voice of reason. But just to do that, then launch himself into that cage to try to save Ospreay.
And y'all clowning him, but he almost had it. He almost had it.
So happy what I love is that Ospreay, no matter how big he is, I don't think he even realizes he's one of the biggest stars in the world yet. He's still such a fan of those guys. Like,
yeah,
Ospreay loves Kenny Omega. He loves Kota Ibushi. He loves Hiroshi Tanahashi. When he got on top of Tanahashi, he guarded him with his body. He said, no. They said y'all would not come to Tanahashi and do all that stuff. Tanahashi trying to climb that ladder and said he was so. I said, you know what? This match is perfect.
He scared the life out of me. I said, baby, we gotta make it to January. All right.
They at this point they booking the Tokyo Dome for you, and I don't know who else. But I digress. Yeah, this was that Hangman and Kenny back. That's amazing. Yeah, Darby, you're nuts. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then they didn't have no commentary during it either.
Yeah, so we got to study your brain for science.
Yeah. I mean, the whole body, like truly. I at this point, I'm convinced that you're part amphibian.
Yeah, it's a little unsettling what you're able to do. What you're willing to do.
And I think Claudio just looked like an executioner, almost like they just activate. You know what? Claudio, they treat him like the Winter Soldier. They just tell him what to go do.
Nah.
You know this, bro. Oh, speaking of the Winter Soldier, y'all, Thunderbolts is on Disney Plus. I get to go.
Can I say something controversial?
You're gonna say that you didn't like Thunderbolts. I listen.
I'm gonna no. I was going to say
apologist.
I was going to say I love Bucky Barnes and everything that he does. I thought Thunderbolts was okay. I'm worried about them being the quote unquote new Avengers. That's all I was gonna say.
But here's the thing. I don't think that they are really the new Avengers. I think
that's what they called it.
I mean, yes, but if you've been watching the rest of the way that the MCU has been shaping out, clearly like that's paving way for like a larger context of a story.
But you know the important thing, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the most important thing.
That is true. But I want to say,
you know what else though? Oh, go ahead. No, I was going to change the topic slightly.
Apologist, really quickly.
Of course.
She is the true final girl of the MCU.
Agreed.
From first Avenger to now, who else has stayed as booked and busy as since the beginning of the MCU to the
I feel like you're jinxing it.
But even so, even if he like died in the next Avengers film, he still probably has the best record of being consistent throughout, like, you know, every phase of the Marvel, you know, of the MCU.
Agreed.
Anybody.
You're not gonna hear me arguing. Look, Becky Barnes is one of my OG girls. Okay, we go way back.
I have my top three emotional support white boys: Bucky Barnes, Hangman Page, Conrad Fisher.
Oh God. I think that I would go. That's difficult. Oh no, it's not. Evan Buckley, Hangman Page, and I guess the third spot's still up for the taking. So if you guys know any white boys, well, actually, don't send them my way. Oh my God, Dr. Umar, no.
I would like to say all the people I picked are fictional characters. By the way, they are all fictional characters.
Mine too.
Mine are all fictional characters. Anybody in real life, do not come. Who is Evan Buckley?
911.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That's my show. That's my shit.
I saw Jalen say it too. I was like, who's that?
Yep.
But yeah. Thanks for watching the Dynamite book. Not book, Diaries.
That's not what it's called.
It's not. You're right. That's the whole name.
I couldn't do it at the beginning. You can do it at the end. So between the two of us.
But not the end, because this show isn't ending anytime soon. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
I meant today.
Yeah. But yes, guys, I'm delirious. It's been a week. But this show really brightened my spirit. So thanks, guys.
Did it? Oh my God.
This has been so fun.
Everybody thank Lyric for the house.
I hate when you say that because it's not true. People come for you. You know, there's been times where like I've actually seen the numbers drop when I get off the stream.
You sitting up here lying.
Not about when you get off. When you get off,
You
sometimes.
sitting up here lying.
Like when your
everybody thinks lyric for the house.
When your phone dies, sometimes you'll take a few people with you. That's fair.
Well, I was gonna be morbid, but
no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, everybody. I won't be here next week.
Because she's famous.
Yeah. What can I say? I'm kidding.
She's going
I'll be back.
Land.
I'm going to what?
Barbie Land.
I'm going to Barbie Land. I will report back. Lots of pictures and being fun. But
yes.
Everybody have fun. I am gonna find a way in a completely different, I don't even know how, but I'm gonna find a way to watch Dynamite. I will tweet.
Absolutely. But thank you everybody for tuning in. We shall see you later on the next episode of the Dynamite Diaries. Maybe we'll have a guest next week. Maybe I'll do it by myself. I haven't really decided yet. Maybe we'll take a break. I'm gonna be honest, we rarely take a break from this show. We've been really good about that since we relaunched the show. Like
I know, good for us, honestly, because we used to.
Yeah, we used to.
You gonna take a break when Kenny and Hangman teaming together against the Young Bucks? You gonna take a break?
You're right. You're right. Like, you're right.
You're not gonna have anything to say.
Right. We will be here. Confirmed. Confirmed. You're so right. I had to think about that again. We know the card. You know my name. That's right. But thanks everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Yeah.